Hey tubers, it is me again, Ben from The Curious Consumer, and today I have a video for you by request actually. My brother-in-law, a couple of kids, and then of course a couple of I've received a couple of emails about doing this mod. So today what we're going to do is we're going to modify a PlayStation 4 controller. Again, any modifications that you do to your product usually means, especially if it's official branded, usually means you are going to void the warranty. Hopefully I can make this video shorter. I know in the past my videos have been about 28 minutes long. I'd like to cut that down a little bit today. But what we're going to be doing today is changing these thumb pads and possibly doing a change to this D-pad. Well, let's get started anyway. So as you can see, regular PlayStation 4 controller. I've already taken some of the liberties of taking the screws out, but to start this modification, what you want to do is take out the 4 screws. So there's one here, one right here next to the reset button, and then one here on the bottom of the thumb pad there. Once you get all 4 of those screws out, what you want to do is start to pry the bottom of the controller out. Now the first time you do this, it's going to feel a little bit tough. It's going to be a little hard because there's some clips, and usually those clips are up here on the side, right next to the let's see if I can get that in the camera there, right next to the triggers here. There's a clip usually right about here, next to the other trigger, and then right here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is take my plastic prying tool here. I'm just going to pull up here so you see that's separated a little bit. And I'm just going to prop my fingers underneath, and I'm going to slide this up so I can get that first clip off here on the side, which it feels like it's pretty loose on that side. So it feels like maybe this clip on the inside might be where the issue is. So I'm just wiggling the clip in, and I'm just trying to pull it apart. There we go. All right, so I have my controller part apart. One thing you want to note is this. Where the triggers are, you'll notice there's 3 pieces of plastic. Here, here, and here. This plastic in the middle is actually connected. So what you have to do is kind of wiggle this back piece away from the triggers. All right, so let's try to do that. So what I want to do is try to wiggle it up, but I don't want to, oops, just turn down that controller. What I want to do is not pull the trigger off. I just want to wiggle it around the trigger. All right. Oop, don't want to reset that. Oh no. All right, here we go. Let me get that out. And let's see if we can't get this side out too. A little bit of pressure here. Again, you don't want to ruin your buttons, but you want to just wiggle it. You can see where it's just getting caught up on that trigger. So there we go. And be careful, don't rip the back of your controller off because you have a connector cord here. So all I'm going to do is just pinch the connector cord together. Actually, there's a little blue tab right here, a little blue piece of plastic right there, and I'm going to pinch on both sides, and I'm just going to pull directly straight up off of the board, and that's going to disconnect the backing for that controller. So I'm going to set this aside. Next up here is to remove the battery. So we're just going to lift that out. It's not glued or anything, so that's actually pretty good. And I'm just going to try to pinch this little white piece here. Just wiggle it back and forth. I may be able to get this out. You don't want to pull on the cord so much, because if you pull on the cord, it could disconnect the pins inside of your connector, and you don't want to rip those out. So let's put that aside. All right, so where are we here? All right, so right here on the bottom of the board, we have the battery cover, the reset button. Oops, sorry, my hand's in the way there. Battery cover, the reset button here. And it looks like there is only 1 screw right there in the middle. So let's get our screwdriver, our trusty screwdriver, and let's get into this right here. So I just want to push it in. You want to apply a decent amount of pressure. You don't want to strip the screw So just a decent amount of pressure there, and I can feel the board actually pulling away when I take that screw off. Make sure you set your screw aside where you're not going to lose it. And one more thing you have to do is be careful. You have the rumble motors on both sides, and you have the cords that go to the board. You don't want those to get any stress on them or anything like that. So you don't want to like rip this out. Plus, these are behind a plastic fitting here where they're not necessarily supposed to just pop right out. And before you pull this out, right here on the top of the board, you'll notice there is another blue ribbon cable. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pull that out ourselves. And you're just going to lift it directly away from the board. Of course, now my fingers are just a little too fat for this. So let me try that with my pry tool. I don't want to rip the cable though. So you want to be very careful when you're doing this. And what I'm trying to do, there we go, is just put pressure on both sides so it almost pinches it with my finger and the tip of that screwdriver. And I pull that out. And now I can pull away my board. Ooh, oh, that wants to come too. So, all right, so let's pull the whole thing away then, I guess. Just try to keep it flat. And it looks like there's a lot of space there to pull that out. All right, so it looks like I lost 2 buttons, my share buttons. So let me just put those back into place. Got to be very careful when you're doing it. And there are these little nubs. If they happen to fall out, you'll notice there are these little nubs around the button. You just want to line those up to the way the plastic sits and just set them right back into place there. So that's the front of my controller. Let me see if I can just flip that over for you. And that's the front of the controller, which we're going to do something with that in a second. So I'm going to put that aside. In the meantime, here's what the PlayStation 4 controller really looks like. So this is the main board here, and it's connected by it looks like 2 boards, which is pretty neat. And we are at our culprits of the thumb pads. So let's do this modification with these right now. We'll take those thumb pads off. And as many of you already know by watching some of my other videos, and if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I really enjoy using these magnetic Xbox One Elite thumb pads. So I'm just going to replace those here. And really the reason I like doing this with these is because if they ever, like with the PlayStation 4 controller, these rubber pieces, as you may already have experienced, that's why you're watching this video, or may not, they start to peel apart. They start peeling off. Or if you're playing for a long period of time, your fingers get really, really slippery and start to slide off because it's just like rubber with no perforations around the edge, no grip. With these magnetic pieces, I could buy replacements all the time if I want to. If I want to bring back, let's say, the grip. I don't know if you can hear that. My thumb's rubbing across it. There's perforation all around the outside of this this part, which allows me to get better grip when I'm playing games. Also, with the modifications, I can change my height. So I could either put the small pads on, or I could put the large pads on if I'm playing a first-person shooter and I want to get a better angle or better control of where I'm shooting. That's why I wanted to do that. But right now, what I want to do, now that I have this part in here, I just want to kind of wiggle this into place, make sure that that all fits together. There we go. So that's that. Now this is going to fit right back into the front piece. But before I do that, what I want to try today is, let me flip this back over. I want to try to put, let me take that out, the Xbox platter here to make it an official controller. And in order for me to do that, well, not official controller, but an official Elite modification. In order for me to put this on here, you'll notice what PlayStation has done with their directional pad is they have a cross thread here. So you see that little X mark here. So this, when I push down on it, their directional pad is actually not flat like most directional pads are. Their directional pad is indented. So what I would have to do to make this mod official is cut these plastic pieces off, which I'm going to do today for you guys, so you can see if you can do this at home. Again, this will definitely void any warranty you may have had on your controller. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just taking off the plastic membrane, and what I want to do is take out this thumb pad and just see what I need on the bottom. And it looks like this might be possible. However, not sure 100%. So let me grab the piece with the magnetic parts. It does look about the same size, but as you can tell, it looks like I may have to just take some parts off. So it looks to me like these parts right here on the top, see that little nub right there, may have to come off on this controller piece, so it could fit into place here. Yeah, that definitely looks like what I'm going to need to do. The other part to this is these little nubs on the bottom. I just noticed on this controller, the nubs on the bottom are a little bit thicker than the nubs that are here. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You see there's a nub, the middle nub here, which is what rocks back and forth. And you have the 4 box nubs there. And here on this one, you have the little center piece here, which is a lot thinner, but you have the little nubs on each side. But I'm going to have to measure them and cut them to the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'm going to try to modify this little magnetic piece here so it will fit inside of the PlayStation controller here. All right, I'm going to pause it and I'll be right back. And we are back. All right, so did a couple of modifications while you were away, or while I paused it. So the modifications that I did, you'll notice right here, originally there was the cross here. I had dremeled that out, took the Dremel and just dremeled it out, and then kind of sanded down the edges here so it wouldn't be very sharp on the top. In the part that I'm going to be putting in there was a little bit different shaped than the one that was in there. So this was the one that was in there. This is the new one that's going in there. And what I ended up doing on here was there were these little tabs that were on the top, so I dremeled those off as well. And there was one slight modification that I had to do to this one. I had to even out the nubs here, so I dremeled down one of them because it was a lot higher. And one of the nubs is not very high at all. So what I ended up doing was taking a little piece from the crosshair that was on the controller before, and I super glued it to this piece here. So it's on there pretty good. That way it makes contact with the bottom push, because as you can see on the bottom here, there are little nubs that have to be on the bottom of the controller in order for those button presses to be pressed. So what I'm going to do now is just put everything back into place. So I'm just going to slide that into its spot, and we have to find the membrane. The membrane here goes on, and there's these 4 little nubs on each corner of the membrane. So you just have to kind of like wiggle it into place and push down on it for it to take its hold in the plastic there. There we go. And this feels very loose right here. If I push it, you can see it wiggling on the inside there. But rest assured, when I flip it over, it does make contact to the membrane here. I just want to make sure that the membrane's not folded over anywhere. That looks good. Now we have to take our buttons, our share buttons. Again, we have to find the specific sides that these were on. And I'm trying to see that here. Does that look like it would be it? Yeah, that would look like it. So let's slide that into place. Perfect. All right, so that one goes there, and this one goes on this side here. So again, finding the nubs on the plastic there in order for that to fall into place. The whole time I was making sure that this wasn't wiggling around too much because I didn't take that out. You could have done that. I did not. All right, so let's move this out of the way here. Move all the parts out. Let's grab our board. Make sure that that just falls into place. There we go. And you can feel it. You can feel when it's together. It would be together. And the beauty part about these thumb pads is it really adds a little bit of weight, of weight to the controller. So let's try to put this on here, back into place. Sliding those nubs into the hole. And what I'm trying to do really is just line up where everything would go without... Oh, you know what I should probably do? Is make sure that this ribbon cable gets put back into place. This ribbon cable on the front for the touchpad before I slide it too far in. Let's see if I can... I got to get this ribbon cable into there. I may have to pause the video again for that. But it looks like the motherboard for the controller just slides into place. Oh, maybe I could do this. All right, let's see if we can get that in there. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can see that there. Underneath there's a little slider in there, and I'm just gonna try to get this blue piece into, oop, missed it, into that slider. There we go. And that's in place. Awesome. All right, cool. So yeah. So there are these holes on the board. So right here and right here are these two screw holes that would normally be used for the backing to go on. And there's holes in the board there, the plastic housing that is where you would normally just slide those through, and that's how it just slid right into place. So that is in. All right, good. So that's part of it here. Feels pretty good. Let's get our battery. Oh, no, you know what we need? The screw, right? So let's get our screwdriver here. Let's put the part in. Oop, I'm trying to just get that screwdriver part right there. And let's get our screw. And let's screw our motherboard. Again, remember the screw hole is right here. This screw hole here. Of course, the lighting is all weird in here. The screw hole is right here where we want to go. So I want to take that, pop it right here. Again, you guys don't have to do all the same mods that I do if you were to do them at home. I just wanted to try this mod for a while now. And there will be a second part to this video. I have another piece coming in for this controller. Another modification that I want to do. It's which will be sometime in October. I should be getting that part in order for me to do the second portion. Oh yeah, sorry, starting to look so good. All right, so keep an eye out. Like if you wanted to do this particular mod, just replacing these two parts here are pretty easy to do on their own. Well, that felt a little bit tight. There you go. All right. No, yeah, I just got to push them in a little bit more. You don't have to do this mod here. I just wanted to do this for a while. I was really excited to try it. So I got a chance to do that today, and that's what I did. So popped it in there. Feels pretty good. All right, let's get the battery. Put the battery in there. And again, you want to be very careful with the battery. And again, on here, the battery actually has this little, let me just focus on that. Can I focus on that? This little nub here that's going to go right into that little slot. So you're just going to slide that right into the controller and just place the battery where it's supposed to go. All right, let's get the backing. And remember, we have another ribbon cable here that we have to put back into the ribbon slider. So what's the easiest way for me to do this? I will flip it over like this. Sorry guys, didn't mean to get my arm in the way there. You know what? Let's just go upside down. We will go like this. So I'm trying to get this ribbon into that ribbon slider. And all I'm going to do is grab both sides. I'm pinching both sides again. And it's pretty easy. It just slides right back into place. But I just like to push down a little bit harder just to make sure it's all the way in. And now we just take the back and make sure we hook it around the triggers. And down at the bottom here, you'll notice that this overhangs. If you just push it in just a little bit, it'll slide right into place. And then you just wiggle it, wiggle the plastic a little bit around, and it should pop right into place here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you just gotta, and it's all by feel, really. You'll feel it when you're putting it together about how it slides into place. So yeah, so that's that. Looks pretty good. Let's pop on our pieces here. And there we go. It is an official PlayStation 4 Elite controller ready to go. The only thing I haven't done right now is put in the 4 screws, but I don't want to waste your guys' time with that. But as you can see, if I press the button, the button's starting to light up, and all I have to do is turn on my PlayStation, and I'm ready to go. Anytime I need to replace the thumb pad, I can just take it off and put on another thumb pad. And here's the taller thumb pad, so you can see for precision shooting. It actually feels very comfortable. Now, I'm a big fan of the PlayStation 4 controller anyway. I just really don't like those thumb pads. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for watching and checking out my video here. Hope you get to try this at home. And, you know, leave a comment down below. Watch some of my other videos. I've done this to a few different types of controllers. And keep an eye out for any of my future videos that we'll be doing pretty soon. I appreciate you guys checking out my channel and watching. Again, guys, unofficial, well, not official PlayStation, but an official modded Elite PlayStation controller. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Don't forget to smack that like button. Give me those thumbs up. And tell your friends. Get them in here to watch these videos, guys. This is pretty cool stuff, and I'm really excited I get to do this for you guys. Again, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.